started looping. Oh my goodness. Have we ever done that before? I don't know. Hello. Hi, everyone. Right. Oh my goodness. I swear this desk is getting messier by the day. My arm is shaking as well. My hand is shaking. There's probably something wrong with me, but hey ho. These designs ain't gonna review themselves. Right, there we go. Pen display. Phone. Oh no, where's the stylus? There we go. Oh, I'm in agony. I've had people stand on me at the weekend at Tough Mudder, and my shoulder is wrecked. So sympathy, all the sympathy. Send me sympathy. Poor me. Where he at? I'm here. I am here. Just about. Somewhere. Right. Let's do that, do that, do that, do that. Uploading video. Dropbox, you need to pause. Shoo-dee-dee. Right. Schedule. Bear with. I'm just trying to multitask, doing like 17 different things at once. Okay. Where's my design folder? Oh goodness, look at that mess. Mess. Terrible. Right, let's open you up. Oof, we've not done a design review in a while. Mostly logo actually today. If anyone does have anything, by the way, I think, what have I got? 1, 2, 3 logos and a bit of photo manipulation. But if you do have anything that you would like to chuck in there, by all means, carry on. If you want to join the Discord, by the way, there is a link in the stream description to join us and our craziness. Not my craziness, I'm totally sane and normal. Just ordered another curved monitor. 180 hertz. Oh, that is going to be buttery smooth, Kerry. Wait, hang on. Have you already got one? Is that going to be 2? Are you like wrapping yourself in monitors? That's going to be delicious. First time in the chat. Oh, well done, Reese. Tadeo, hello. Hope you're having a great day. Hey, hey, Dan. Hey, Francis. 3. Wait, hang on. So you've got 2 curved monitors already. You are literally going to encircle yourself with monitors. Where's my coffee? I think I need some water as well. Yeah, my hands are definitely shaking. That's not good. This is not that good. And apologies if you just caught a glimpse of my Peppa Pig pajamas. They're so comfy. I love them. Right after I wrote that, my entire machine froze. That's what you get for being first, Reese. How are you anyway? How is it going? How's baby? How's life? Are you winning, Reese? Are you winning? Okay. Right, we're gonna crack on. Oh, I need some music first of all. Oh, let's get some tunes on. Right. So there's a link to my Illustrator courses, both together, 50% off till the end of August. So that is another 9 days, 10 days. But I'll pin it to the top of the chat. if anyone is interested. I'm better today. 3 full, really full days on a tight turnaround booklet. Baby is awesome. Ah, car. 3 full days back to back, just working solid, yeah? Goodness. Right. First of all, we've got this one here. Isla's Ink. So I think this is a tattoo place. Right, let me just set my pen tablet up. In fact, I should be able to find out more in the Discord. Is there any more context? Okay. This was a passion project for a tattoo studio, and the logo had to convey a feminine vibe. Would love feedback on this. Okay, cool. Ah, there we go. Pen tablet, monitor 2. There we go. Beautiful. Right, let's dive into it then. Okay, so tattoo studio, feminine vibe, colors. You've nailed the colors, I think. They look really cool. Purples are always a good one for tattoos, I think. Not just for like something more feminine, but just purple, blacks, white, black and white. Obviously, you see a lot. Purple is a really good color. Pink as well. Yeah, it goes really well. 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. designing, coaching soccer, dinner, 2 more hours. Oh, Lord. Oh, my goodness. There you go, huh? Jeez, man, that is full on. Hey, Raquel. Hey, Nick. Okay. Isla's Ink. So I love the colours. I'm not entirely sure about the mark. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like this is a tattoo gun. If it isn't, I don't know what it is. Is it a person walking into an open door and this is the shop? Does anyone see anything different that I'm not seeing? Because I'm not entirely sure what the mark is. It feels a bit random and a bit abstract. Sorry, there's something in my eye. I'm just blinded. I've only got one good eye now. Okay. 'Tis the season of life I've chosen. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the mark is. Let me just look up what a tattoo gun looks like. Okay, so yeah, I'm whatever this is, I don't like it. I'm not entirely sure what it's meant to be. If it's abstract, I'm not getting it. It looks like a random shape. Then we come to the lettering. I think the font is fine. It's very safe. It's very clean and modern. I like the idea, kind of having the this can look kind of cool, having the A kind of nestled within the L, so you could lean into that. The problem here, though, is that you've kept the A the same and obviously extended the L to line up. Makes sense. I appreciate that. But in doing so, you've made the L typographically like weird. It's like it then looks odd. So it's a bit of a tricky one. You've kept the A the same, but the L is now stretched out. Also, having the drop as the apostrophe, again, creatively, it's a cool idea, but then it creates this... Ooh, wrong tool. Yeah, it creates this weird gap, this big empty space here. So now it feels like the spacing's off. So I feel like if you were going to do a droplet, you want it to kind of look... It needs to be like a blend of like a symbol and some type. So maybe you would curve it like an apostrophe. And then you could add like an accent or a detail in there to show that it's a droplet. I'm spitballing ideas here, but that doesn't really fix the problem of the gap. So how you kind of integrate that, you could, it's kind of difficult with, I haven't got the file to edit. So let's just create it. Ugh, here's Ella. I don't know what font this is, but I could probably just pick something like this to replicate it. Yeah, so we'll go like that. Let's just grab these. So you could try and use, maybe if we bring them closer together. So the way that the A, right, hang on, I've done this wrong, haven't I? But that could work quite well, actually. So if we kind of ignore the whole putting the A inside the L idea. Hey, Heclas! Or Hector, sorry, how you doing? Yeah, so if we go with an A, we've got this slant, it actually naturally creates a gap in here. So typographically, these still look correct. The spacing isn't weird. So we could... This works perfectly, actually. You could have your apostrophe in there, and it's not going to typographically be a bit of an issue. Or if you wanted to do the kind of nesting the letters idea, could we do that? Let's have a lowercase a. I mean, that in itself is a bit... It feels a bit random. Do you know what I mean? All uppercase and then you've got a lowercase a. It does feel a bit odd. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Just having one letter really small. And then you've got to stretch out the L, and like, to me it does look a bit odd. Like, I mean, I suppose you could do something like that, and you could encapsulate it in a box, and it's, if you did something like that, it could work. I suppose you could get it to work. But it doesn't really feel tattoo-y, Tattoo Studio. And there is definitely something odd about having all the letters uppercase and then the A lowercase and the L stretched out, but the word ink is totally, completely untouched. Something you could do as well, you could experiment with, is having the word ink kind of written like this. Bump the tracking, just going to space it apart. This is going to give us a bit more space. This might look terrible. But then you could have, sometimes you could have like the person's name, because it's like a more personal thing. What you can do is you could have it written in something a bit more handwritten, just like a more personal looking font rather than something clean. Am I going to be able to find a decent font in the space of like 5 seconds? Probably not. But like a marker style. Oh, I mean, we could use that. Maybe you could grunge it up. Grunge this up. Let's drop the tracking, actually. We could bring that in. You can see then the I just comes in. So before it was crashing into the J. Bringing it down. Something like that. We could even try, because that J dips quite low. You could even try and get a divider in there. Well, that might not work. Might look a bit weird. It looks a bit weird. Not necessary, but... Do you see what I'm getting at here? And then the gap here is still way too much. So I would manually tighten that up. You could even... kind of makes it look a bit more one-wordy then, but... Yeah, and this type, you could go and customize this. That's not my favorite looking S. That I hate that bit there as well, the connecting bit. Sometimes they can be typographically correct and they can also look a bit crap. So I don't know, maybe there's, let's try and connect these up. Maybe there's something else we could do here with the S. Like I would probably use a reference image. But could we do something different? And then try and curve that around. Got to be careful customizing letters because you can screw things up typographically. Or if you wanted to go the route of having like a mark, what I would probably do is look at just elements of the trade, the craft of doing tattoos. So you don't always have to kind of go super literal with everything. You know, I said about having a tattoo gun earlier. You don't have to do that. But yeah, so tattoo guns, they're all slightly different, but they do have a very interesting shape, very mechanical, lots of pieces. You could take a part of that. This is a nice illustration. And we have an I, Isla, I, that could lend itself perfectly. So you could actually turn the letter I into a tattoo gun. Or you could Isla's ink. Oh, I mean, that's too perfect, really. Isla's ink. So we got Isla's ink, and then turn maybe this bit into some sort of tattoo gun that could then link into the S. I mean, I'm getting a bit, this is all just rough. Then you got your A, and then you got your ink, and then turn the double I into a tattoo gun, and then build this out with a little bit of light illustrative work, but not too detailed that you can't see it at a smaller size. And I feel like if you do that right, you could get it all central as well. So the tattoo gun, if that didn't exist, obviously it looks left aligned now, but with the tattoo illustration bit kind of coming out here, you could balance the lettering. That could look kind of cool. But yeah, so kind of in summary, this shape here, it feels random. I don't know what it is. Abstract can sometimes be really cool, but it's not really conveying anything at all for me. Colors are good. Fonts, a bit safe. I'd be careful about customizing letters without having an understanding of typography, just because you can do things like this that can create problems. Do you know what I mean? It's balancing like being typographically correct and creative at the same time. You've probably seen me on a lot of the other streams. Like, you know, if I start customizing type, I do it very cautiously because I know I can screw it up. There are two I's in it, a lowercase and an uppercase to match the band. The band? I'd like to know what the decision is behind the lowercase a being inside. When is a good time to use a divider? That's a really good question. So I think, yeah, you might have asked that before I did it. I'm not sure. Dividers can be really useful elements because it could be a divider or it could be a container. And sometimes these can be really useful because when you're lining up different elements, sometimes they look a bit weird or they might look like they're floating. And using dividers and containers can actually introduce more other like structural elements that then negate alignment issues. I've kind of covered this before. Just trying to think of a good example. Like this isn't the best example, but sometimes things can look a little bit odd. So if you were to look at this and say, oh yeah, the J flicking out and descending lower, it creates weird spacing and alignment issues. It can sometimes be because we're looking at these two elements and we're then looking at the relationship and the spacing and all that stuff between those different elements. So if there is like some typographical thing that is kind of looking a bit off, you can introduce, like we tried the divider before and it doesn't really work with the J, but we could introduce a container. So essentially another structural element. And now we're not really focusing on the alignment between the islas and the ink words. We're now looking at the relationship between the word islas and the box, because the box is like that, the more prominent element. So this isn't the best example, but by introducing other structural elements, it can make it easier to hide or disguise alignment issues for the viewer just by introducing another element. Obviously, you don't want to go and like box up absolutely everything, because it can just be like, you know, box city. But yeah, they're kind of a design element, but you can use them with a lot more purpose as well. I'm not saying do that, by the way. Just just trying to illustrate a point. Yeah. So like when I work on a design, for example, maybe it's just me, but I'm very methodical. So everything has a purpose. Every line, every letter, every element has a deliberate choice behind it. Whereas when I was a lot earlier in my career, and I've seen this in a lot of work as well, I would just add design. I would add dividers and shapes and boxes and borders and double line borders just for the sheer heck of it. I would just add it in there for creativity. And I don't know. I don't know what you think. Maybe that's cool, but for me now, I'm looking at everything and I'm going, okay, well, does this add value to the design? Or actually, if I turn off this double border I've added, does that actually look better, cleaner, less cluttered? I can master most things, but Illustrator has been my Achilles heel. Just can't seem to get it. I mean, Westfield, are you coming from like Photoshop? Like, where are you coming from, or are you coming in completely fresh? I mean, I don't want to say just, you know, I don't want to plug the course just straight away, but definitely consider it. It's just Illustrator's easy with the right instruction. So anything structured that is just gonna, once you get to grips with the basics, it gets a lot easier. It's just if you are coming from Photoshop, that's why I asked. It's like, it's annoying because it's similar in some ways, but very, very different in other ways, and it has a totally different tool set. But just know that when you use both for long enough, like for example, I can flip between Illustrator and Photoshop and it's no problem. And you have the benefit of being able to dance between the two programs. And together I was going to say, that sounds really shit. Together they make beautiful music. But once you can flow between the programs, it's really cool. Because, I'll show you where we ended up on the end of the last stream. And it kind of makes the point I'm making, actually. So we did the Demon Hunter thing from K-pop Demon Hunters. And I'll show you the design. But there's also a logo I did as well that I was able to integrate into it. So I did the actual logo for the necklace piece in Illustrator and then made it look metal in Photoshop. I managed to sneak it in. So this is from the other day. Did a bit more work on it. definitely looks better with like a sad expression. So thank you, Raquel, for your work on that. That was really good. And then this. So this was a logo done in Illustrator. And the great thing about being able to use both bits of software is I was able to take this design, the K, the D, and the H, K-pop Demon Hunters, and bring it into Photoshop, then make it metal, then bring it into this design. So that's just one of the advantages of learning both bits of software. But yeah, it turned out all right in the end. Right. It's fun. It's fun working on that. Glad you made that point with the lettering. I think that may be a problem for me when I get into the Illustrator course, finding the balance between creativity and accuracy. Yes, I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to know as well. Like I'm like I said, very methodical as a designer. It's difficult to know how much of that is my sort of style, because my style is very clean, very minimal. You've probably seen it like a million times. So it's obviously it's trying to teach people to create and be creative, but obviously everyone is going to have their own style. I don't want to just teach people how to just make designs in the way that I do. So just yeah, I'm very methodical. Everything has a purpose, a place. If it doesn't serve a purpose or have a place, I get rid of it. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to you getting into the Illustrator course and seeing what you do. Have you got much experience with Illustrator, Nick? Because I know I've seen a lot of your Photoshop work, which has been amazing to see. And it'll be interesting to see if you do combine the two, like I was just talking about. Okay, so you're coming from Photoshop. Yeah, it's tough at first. I think it's just understanding the main sort of tools. Illustrator has a lot of tools. I've stripped my tool set down here deliberately because you don't need to. Oh, hang on, sorry, I'm in the wrong app. Yeah, my tool set here is deliberately a lot more lean because there's a lot of features Illustrator has that you can learn them, but they're not essential. Like there's like the symbol sprayer tool. It has a very specific purpose. I think 90% of people designing with Illustrator aren't going to use that. So stripping down the tool set and just customizing the toolbar can help make things come across less like intimidating. It can seem very overwhelming. You open it up and you're new to it and you're like, oh my God, I've got to learn all of it. No, no, you don't. You don't. And you'll be amazed once you kind of have a solid understanding of the base tools and how to use them. Like you might think, oh, a pencil tool. That's, yeah, I can draw lines. But then you double click it. You can get great smoothing just by using the trackpad. And then you think, oh, okay, well, that's not ideal. Smooth tool can smooth it out. And it can just make the whole process of using Illustrator so much easier just by learning the base tools and learning like what the full capability of what you can do with them. I want to see your version, Raquel. I want to see it, or is it too early? I don't want to sound impatient. Hey, Andrea. Raz says, what if you use the capital I of the script, rotate it counterclockwise as the final S? Sorry, I said this was a J earlier, didn't I? That's because it looks it. What if you use capital I of the script, rotate it a bit counterclockwise as the final? As the final S. What you mean? Something like that? I mean, it does share some similarities with the S. Oh yeah, that's another thing you can do with the pencil tool. Customize type. Yeah, I think there's lots of different ways you could go with it. I think the mark for me is the thing that is probably needs the most work, and the word Islas, the lettering as well. But in terms of the colors, I love the colors. Yeah, I think they're really good. Watching you from Pakistan. Awesome. Nabil from Pakistan. A continuation stream. Oh, I don't know what else to do to it, really. I think I'm at the point with it now where it's just refining the marks on the skin, like the glowing demony lines. I don't think that's going to be very fun to watch. That'll just be like me obsessing for hours. I think the bulk of it's pretty much done. First time using Illustrator was that work project I asked for guidance on the medical diagram. Oh, of course. Yeah, I think that was the first thing, wasn't it? Yeah. See, even that, I remember it was like a part of a diagram. I can't remember what it was for, but it was this kind of shape. So it was like divided. It's almost like a fidget spinner, really. It was like looking at that shape, and there's so many ways in Illustrator you could do it. But once you learn, this is what I was saying with the tools. Once you learn the tools, yeah, if I remember rightly, it had a curved top to it. Correct me if I get this wrong, but I'm pretty sure this was the shape. And then it was rotated in three. So you know, normally you'd be like, oh, okay, we'll manually rotate this round and then flip it. And it's like, no, we're going to use mathematical precision. So we're going to add like an extra point here. That extra pen tool point means we can use the rotate tool to anchor to it. Alt and Option click. 360 degrees divided by 3. Copy, repeat, and then merge. And then you get that shape. And then if you wanted to curve it, honestly, once you learn those tools on like a fundamental level, creating those sorts of shapes that seem hard, creating them with precision is just super easy. It's a lot easier than you might think. You definitely need to have like a little bit of a problem solving brain for Illustrator. Like, okay, I need to create this shape. What tools do I need to use or combine to get the best result? I remember calling bad names Illustrator when learning it and getting used to where things are and what they do. Today, Illustrator is my favorite app. Yeah, it's. You should put a gallery section on the course website. Oh, what? Yeah, no, I'm always constantly asking for people who have enrolled in the courses to send me their work. That's why I love seeing what people create. Yeah, I definitely want to do that at some point. I just need a few more bits and pieces, I think. So if anyone does if you've enrolled in a course and you want to send me your work, I would love to showcase, like, I think I talked about this before, adding a section of like what other students are creating, because some of it is just flipping awesome and super inspiring. I'm in love with Illustrator. Good. Good, Andrea. And now you're Photoshop curious as well. Was that your idea? I don't. No, it wasn't lava. I did add lava. You said I was ignoring you. I wasn't. I was reading the chat. I added the lava, but oh, this is the metal logo. So this was the this was just the vector pasted into Photoshop. I think I added some curves adjustments just to darken darker areas and lighten some. And then these are just blending modes, so a layer style effectively. For the chrome look, slight metal texture, which is good because it hides all of this weird banding that blending modes create and kind of hide all that. And then I think here just added some like pink highlights. So those kind of highlights that we covered in the Photoshop courses, Raquel, I think you've done some of them already. This is like the same technique, but instead of a person, we're just applying it to metal. So it's like a different application. What am I listening to? I've got no idea. What the heck is this? That wasn't what I wanted to show you though. What was it I was trying to show you? What was I even talking about? Oh no, I've distracted myself. My desktop. Oh no, this was it. This was what I used for the scratches in the end. So whatever that is. I think this was generated. Yeah, this was an AI Envato thing. So not these ones, but these ones kind of look like glowing scars with all the breaks and the. So I was like, that's good. Grab these two and then used Puppet Warp to contort them into different shapes to create the variety. Hey, Alana. Yeah, I think a lot of those techniques, they're covered quite early on in Illustrator First Class. Basic tools and then combining shapes. Well, I wasn't ignoring you. I was still reading the chat. I was in like a bit of a flow though. I've been getting into Illustrator lately and picking it up pretty well. I do need to learn how to mix the two programs. Yeah, I think part of that probably comes with working between them as well. So the more you hop between them, the keyboard shortcuts in particular, it does get easier. There are some similarities, but then there's a few differences. The metal logo, I missed the last stream. Oh no, yeah, the metal logo, that wasn't on stream. That was, I did that the other night actually. That's it, Raquel. Yeah, that's so. Have you found that you've developed that a lot more? That kind of looking at something complex and reverse engineer it. That is exactly how to learn to create shapes and things in Illustrator more. You'll look at like a super complex shape, like look at this, for example, and then you'll reverse engineer how to create it. So like this, for example, as soon as I see curves like this, I'm thinking there's no point doing the curves. Just do it straight. Get a perfect curve there manually. Still editable. Whereas it's very easy to want to try and pen tool it. As soon as you start manually pen tooling, even if you're experienced with the pen tool, you introduce imperfections. Look at that. You see, it's not straight here. It kind of bends down a bit too much. Yeah. Whereas doing it the other way, you're just going to reduce the chance that imperfections are going to pop up. Same with these curved tops as well. You know, yeah, you could pen tool this, but again, that just, it's not perfect. Instead, ellipse tool, get rid of the bottom, perfectly symmetrical. Right tools, right process leads to better results. Cleaner, more professional. Anyway, right, we've got to do another logo. So yeah, let's get rid of that. Actually, let's just switch gears. Let's do this Photoshop one first. I've got, if you want to get into Photoshop, by the way, I've got this on YouTube. Type in, I think it's 13 photo manipulation tricks or tips. Anyway, it's on YouTube. And you have to dump a fidget spinner in, I think it's sand, but actually this is in the landscape. So this is slightly different. Who submitted this actually? Vex. Okay. Right. So this was the recent challenge of take the field image and dump an object in it. So I like the fact that you put the fidget spinner in the field, not the sand. Yeah. Okay, so this is really cool. There's a few things here that aren't correct though. So it's a really great start. You've got all the pieces. You've done all the building blocks. We've just got to rearrange them slightly to get it looking more realistic. Again, this is all covered in the Photoshop course. The beginner one goes into this at a fundamental level. Balance, exposure, colors. You're probably sick of me saying that now. And then the masterclass builds on that a lot. So this isn't a PSD, so I'm kind of limited to what I can do, but I'll try and mark it up. So I'll show you what we need to do and where. So like this is, these are two-dimensional images, but we've got to think about this in the context of it being a 3D thing in a real scene. So let's, oh, we need a color. Oh, I've got into teacher mode now. Let's mark it up with blue. Why not? So here's our sun. Oh, hey, here's our sun. And the light is being cast like this. It's coming all the way over here. So here, what Vex has done is added the highlights. That's good, but kind of added it all the way around very equally. So what we want to do is you want to add it here, which is good. But then I think taper it off and have it a little bit more subtle around there. So this bit, the light is going to be, and it's going to be catching right on here quite prominently. Whereas this bit here, you're going to get a little bit of that glow coming through, but it's just not going to be as prominent. Whereas at the moment, it's just kind of brushed around relatively equally. It's a little bit missing here. So that's a good start. It just needs a bit more refinement. And what I do when I do highlights like this as well, is I do it in two stages. One, the very soft stage. So this is that kind of spillover light, that light just spilling over, and then it will start kind of more pronounced here, and then it will just gradually fade out to nothing. And then I like to add a pronounced highlight. That's going to be like a much more pronounced kind of edge highlight where it's just catching. And those two things are what I use a lot of the time. Not for everything. Not everything's going to have a super pronounced highlight, and it does depend on the material as well. So this is a plastic. So you might get a pronounced highlight catching on this bit. And then have like a soft, let me just pick a different brush. A soft kind of, I'm just using blue, but just to demonstrate the principle. So the soft spillover light. So you've got your soft light, and then maybe just on this edge here, you're going to have that pronounced highlight. And then down here, okay, down here, it's the wrong way around. So the light is going to catch really around here. And this element here, that highlight almost needs to be flipped 180, I think. Same down here, that light is coming through and it's catching just down here, that bottom corner. So you might have a bit of a catch light there. Maybe not even that far up, just in the corner. And then maybe just a little bit of slight bit of, maybe not actually, just something really subtle. No, probably not. And then with this one, you're going to have a nice big catch light there, and then probably a lot more subtle over here. So kind of, yeah, not so much there and spilling over. I think a lot of this comes with experience as well. Oh, thank you, Nick. Yeah, I mean, with all the courses, it's not just like a course. Like, you literally get me here to support you as well. So I know a lot of us talk via DM. So if you do, if you have enrolled in a course and you're stuck, don't be. Like, I'm here to help you. That is, I don't talk about that enough, really. But I am. I love that new tool. I need to go play. Oh, which new tool? Which new tool? Did I just show a new tool? Oh, is that, sorry, is that the harmonize stuff? Yeah, this stream, you can keep this link if you want to rewatch it. The link will stay active; it will be unlisted, but then it will go onto the Dansky Live channel at some point in the next few days. That's where I re-upload all the streams. So for people who really just want the long, full process stuff, and you don't mind me waffling on and going off on tangents, that is on Dansky Live. Harmonize, yeah, I think I like Harmonize as well. I think it's like with all the AI stuff, you know, AI anything is split. The whole creative community is split. Some hate it, some love it. I'm kind of sat in the middle, whereas I like some applications of it. And I think there's some applications that are useful as inspiration. They're useful, like Harmonize. It's kind of like a springboard to give you an idea of how something could look. But it doesn't do the whole thing for you. You know, you still need the skills and knowledge of the tools to be able to do something and take it further. Then there's all the AI stuff in Illustrator. I hate that. And I don't think anyone using Illustrator, at least most people, aren't going to be generating vectors that are useful as end results. So again, good for inspiration, but yeah, it's, you know, if you ask 100,000 creatives their opinion on AI, you'll probably get 100,000 different opinions. So I think, yeah, it's a tricky one. It's tricky teaching it as well, because it's how much of the AI stuff do you cover? Some people love it, some people hate it, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just here teaching it. Like, if you don't like it, just don't watch the AI videos. Like, you know, don't hate me. Oh, it's a tricky one. The turntable tool? No, what the heck is the turntable tool? No. Have I got the beta for that? Can I download that on stream, or is that gonna tank everything? There's an update for the beta. Let's download. Let's see if I can download it while the stream's going. I've got the beta. Let's get the update and have a play. The turntable tool. This better be useful. I hope it's not like another tool that doesn't need to exist. Is it useful, Reese? Please say it is. Another thing you can do with this as well is, let's get rid of my scribble. It's kind of hard because I don't have a PSD, but I'll do it as best I can. Is because the lighting is behind, this whole thing would be a bit more silhouetted. Let's see if I can actually cut it out. I might be able to do this, actually. Let's cut that out. Let's get rid of this. See, this is a use of AI that I love. Being able to just remove things from an image. I don't care about generating stuff most of the time, but just extending portrait to landscape and getting rid of things. I like that. That's just built. That's kind of like a more refined version of the content aware. Generative features costing credits is bullshit, though. That is total bullshit. I don't like that at all. Like, there's not even anywhere that I can really easily see credits. And I think if you run out of credits, you could still use it, but it just slows it down and throttles it. That's just crap, you know, deliberately making it slower. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that. Maybe there's a reason why that cost needs to exist, because the, you know, AI functionality has a cost attached to it. I don't know. I don't know the details behind it. But from a customer perspective, great. Add these features, but just don't introduce credits within subscriptions that already cost, like, do you know what I mean? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Anyway, before I start ranting. Right. So, fidget spinner, yeah. So now, what you can do, I'm just going to do this very quickly, is just darken everything. In fact, we could actually flip that around. There we go. This is probably easier. And then you can add the highlights. So kind of where it's spilling over, it's catching a lot more up here. Maybe a bit along here. And you can see I'm doing this with a 10% flow. And that's because this is very easy to go in heavy-handed and start doing this. And if you rush this and do it heavy-handed, it will 9 times out of 10. Even if I do it, it'll look rubbish. It's all about doing it slow and patience. Raquel knows all about patience with the brush tool, don't you, Raquel? Yeah, so do you see what I'm doing? I'm just literally brushing it in, building it up. I don't use opacity anymore at all. I just use flow. Flow is amazing. Can I add some there? Yeah, a little bit there. I'll build on what's already done. Yeah, maybe a bit down there. You see the difference? And then the highlights here already exist, but let's build on them. We'll build on them and exaggerate them even more. I can't remove them because I don't have the PSD file, but... And lots of blending modes. It depends which way you want to go with it. Hey, Kea! How's it going? How's the logo project? So, yeah, I'm gonna overdo this now because they've already got some, but you see what I mean? We're just building it up. They've got a bit of spill, a little bit of spill. Then we could warm it up. There we go, warm it up a bit. And down here, this would be better example because he's not really done much around here. I'm doing this on one layer just because I feel a bit more confident, but when you do it on 2 separate layers for the harder edge highlight and then you have the spillover lighting, it's better because you can turn one off, one on, you can edit them independently. Whereas when you get a bit more confident, you can do this on one layer. You see what I mean? So there you've got the soft spillover light, but you've got the harder, more pronounced highlighting. And just to reiterate, I can't draw very well at all. So if anyone's like, oh, you need to be able to draw, or do I need to be able to draw? 100% no, you do not. There we go. Oh, nice. Beautiful. And then we've got the linear dodge blending mode, which is great because you get the yellows and the reds, oranges, whatever. You get that warmth. Whereas using the wrong blending mode, do you see what I mean? You get the redness, but you lose the spillover. And as you do this more often, you'll find there's like a few blending modes that you'll just come to rely on that deliver the specific results. Kerry knows all about this now with his fire text, which looks flippin' awesome. And then we could even do some highlights along this edge as well. I'd probably do this on a different adjustment layer, but I'm just being lazy here. So we could just... Again, we're just using that 10% flow. Yeah, this probably isn't really the right blending mode, but it's fine. Maybe a bit more of a catch there. And a bit of fall off around here, but this bit is where the light is going to be hitting. You see the difference? That to that. Shadows. What am I doing? Where are they? Let's get rid of these then. Do another generative doodah. Apart from the fact that I'm a little mean to Dan sometimes. Oh, can we screenshot that? Just a little. He's a wonderful person and his courses. Oh, thank you, Andrea. That's very kind of you. Enjoy it, Ginger. It's the only time. 2D vector and use turntable to create a 3D character or vector. Ooh, okay. Where are you, Illustrator beta? That's got to install by now. Let's have a look. Illustrator. Oh, Illustrator beta is damaged and can't be opened. That's not good. What? Okay. I'm going to uninstall it. Where's the Illustrator beta? Right, okay. Let's uninstall that. Remove preferences, then we'll reinstall it. Give it a fresh go. Oh man, painkillers are starting to wear off. Oh, my shoulder is screwed. That's what happens when you've got an injured shoulder and you let fully grown adults stand on you at an event to get up a wall. It was 7 or 8 people, one after the other, just standing on me. Flippin' heck. I let them stand on the bad shoulder as well. I should have said stand on the left one, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. Okay, right. Shadows. Shadow. So again, we can use the exposure adjustment layer for this as well. Go super dark. And we're just going to brush in the rough direction for this. So we've got the sun up there. So, oh, actually, no. There's a better way to do this. There are lots of ways, actually. You can brush that in. But I'm going to try and do something like this. This going to look right? That's probably a bit off, but we'll just fill it with, nope, black, not blue. We'll pull it over. This is the good thing about shadows. You don't have to get these looking spot on. You can cheat them quite easily. Obviously that looks awful. But we're going to go smart object. We are going to do a tilt shift, which is a gradual blur. And we're going to go from here down to here. So it starts off less blurred, close to the object, blurs more as you go away. And that's step 1. Step 2, add a layer mask. Gradient tool. And then we can introduce this. So we can fade it out however we like. So more pronounced here, close to the object, fade it out. So just those two things already make a massive difference. And what else have we got? Blending options. And then these elements over here that are further away, the light might catch them, so they wouldn't just all be in the dark. So I think it's this one here. There you go. Let's just some of those highlights come through. So it's just less just murky block. Looks much more realistic. And yeah, what we should do is I do have to there's one thing that's going to make this look awesome that I've got to add in. So I've got to make this... I should have done this before, really, but hopefully this looks... Hopefully this works. Save and close. Yeah, that's kind of mucked up the shape a little bit. That's fine. Just pretend that it's the same shadow. And the reason that I've done that is so now I can select the fidget spinner, and you want to have like a darker area behind as well. Obviously we can brush away the shadow from here, but with it darker behind in certain places, we can grab a grass brush. Ooh, I've not got all my good ones. Where's my grass brushes? That's alright, we'll use this one. It's not as good, but you can then add, you can mask bits away, and you can add grass. That's not the most ideal brush. I think I've... Actually, have I got it on the desktop or in the bin? Where is it? Grass... Oh! There we go. Let's try that again with better grass brushes. Grass. Let's go down here. Ah, there we go. That's what I wanted. Yeah, these ones. These are good. Then you can just stamp in grass and give it lots of variety. And it just makes the whole thing feel a bit more realistic. So if we just group all of this, do a quick before and after. Obviously you could spend ages on this. The biggest change is just the lighting, getting the lighting and the shadows right. Long day, lots of unnecessary drama, but the logo is going pretty well, actually. I found the perfect font to customize. Nice. And I showed the client my mood boards, and they loved it. Good. Nice. One step at a time. This is the graphic designer Jitendra from India. Ooh. From India? India. I can't speak. My hand's still shaking. Mick Dihista from Germany. Hello. Sorry, I'm probably pronouncing everyone's name terribly. Right. Another logo. This one is by Anuz. Oh, actually, is the beta downloaded? Let's look up this turntable feature. Where is it? Illustrator beta is damaged and can't be opened. I actually can't open it. That's a bit silly. I never had any problems with it before, but this latest update is apparently broken. That is a no-go. Oh well, never mind. One step forward, two steps back. You could open the beta, but now you can't. Why? What changed? Because it's something I said? Alright, this is a JPEG, so I can't really do a lot here. What is the context? Okay, I made a logo for a travel AI company that plans trips using AI. I have to present one. Which one should I present? If it's a travel logo that's powered by AI, the bottom one. 100%. That kind of sparkle with the travel distance thing and the style, that is probably the best representation of AI. This is less travel, more speech bubble. This one is just travel aeroplane. So the bottom one is the one I would probably go with. And I think, yeah, as it is, yeah, it's pretty good. Again, it just comes down to like the technical execution. Like I would just fix these curves. It just sort of, in fact, let's just work on that first of all, that mark. Seeing as I was waffling on about technical execution earlier. So again, the sparkle, it's not central. You know, I don't want to change the creativity, but I do want to tighten up the execution. So we'll start with the circle, sparkle, pucker and bloat. There we go. Trick for a sparkle. Going around the corners. Expand the appearance. Around the corners a little bit, just so it's not too sharp. That's not sparkly enough though. Let's push it a little bit more. Expand around the corners. There we go. So we've got a nice sparkle. We're going to pop that in the center. Make it bigger. And then the road. How are we going to do the road? We could freehand it. So we would go like this. Like that. And then we can deliberately control the tapering. So that might be one way. So that could work. Is there a better way though? We could pen tool it. We could. This might be better actually. Is do a single stroke and just kind of adjust the curvature a bit. And we'll thicken it up. Then maybe use the width tool to taper it off. And then we can go in and fine tune it a bit more. So bring you down there. So you can see the width tool adjusting everything in real time. Smooth tool, I could run that over there. You see the smooth tool can be quite a good way to just very quickly smooth stuff out. And this bit here has gone a bit weird. So I like that. Let's change the color to red so I can see what the heck I'm doing. Yeah, that's not too bad. Bit of a weird little kinky bit there. Hey, kinky bit. Ooh, saucy. But that's fine. We can get it pretty close and we can tidy. God, I can't speak today. Tidy it up ourselves. So yeah, that's pretty good. We can tidy that up though. So you see, you get just a much more controlled tapering off to a point, whereas here it's kind of wide and then it tapers off really sharp and then it's wide and then maybe you want a bit more roadiness. Maybe that's not roady enough. So we could kind of do something different. Have it doing that. Bump it up. So there's lots you could do with it. So yeah, freehanding it can be an option sometimes. Get it looking decent. That's quite nice. Could maybe widen that bottom part. Pull it down. You could have it kind of run smoothly there if you wanted, or you could deliberately kind of have it kind of like a harder sort of point, which I think I might go with. We could keep mucking around with this to try and smooth this out, or we could grab that point. So at the minute, as we change the path, the width tool is trying to update at the same time. What you can do is once you're happy, save a copy, expand it, and now we can go in and just smooth this out or freehand this section.
Oh, hello.
Hey, man. Sorry, Crumble, you're going across the room. Bye, Crumbs.
Shopping. Hi, everyone.
Poppy says, hi, everyone. Let's freehand that. Nice. Yeah. So freehanding it sometimes can be a good way to go. Sometimes if things are... Oh, that one was quite good, actually, to be fair. Yeah, sometimes freehanding it can be useful. Yeah, sometimes geometrically precisely doing everything can look a little bit too clean. You get a bit more character. Hey, Abisek. Or the curvature tool, yeah. Raquel says, Puppy! Yeah, I think this one. Go on, in you go, you.
Okay.
I think this one probably... Yeah, it looks pretty good. So we could just sculpt some of this, maybe have that taper up and down. I think even here as well, the star is wonky. The star's not straight, or sparkle rather. So it's just those little things I would probably tighten up. And maybe the size as well. I'd say the mark is too small here compared to the text. The balance is a bit off. So if I were to type travel quest. I don't know what font it is, so let's just pick good old Inter. Can't be too far off that. So at the minute, I think it's a little bit closer to that. So what I would do personally is bring it down a bit. Now, in terms of distance here, what you can do, a good technique, can be to take the average width of the letters. So if I just grab an A, use that as a distance marker. So just have the width of one letter between the logo mark and the type. And you can see there, size-wise as well, it just feels on that bottom one. It's a little bit more balanced, a little bit nicely spaced. Here, the text is just a bit too overpowering, and the spacing is just needs a smidge more, I think. It's my favorite, the third one. Oh, okay. And then, of course, what we would need to do is, once we do have a final design, merge them, and then knock them out. So we should be able to change the colors. I don't think there was any color in the thing, but if you wanted to, you could add some color. Oh, what should we go with? There we go. Purple. I don't know why, just why not? And yellow, sure. Travel quest, and then this thing here. Make that yellow. There we go, pop that in there. You could even actually. Just now that I'm playing around with it. Let's just add some color in. Yeah, you could do something like that. And then the design still works in one color as well, if you did want that. So I think conceptually, obviously before the colors, we didn't change a lot. We just tightened up what was there. Some of the little details, alignment, curves. That would be the thing I would spend the most time on, is just refining that journey road off into the distance curve. Right, next up. Bonanza. Oh, I wish the beta would open. I want to see what that feature is. Right, Bonanza. Is there any context for what I'm doing? I've done a variation of a wordmark logo for Bonanza, a company that produces state-of-the-art boxing lessons for beginners that conveys a sense of comfort while at the same time being lively. Parents are the target audience. Let me know what works and areas for improvement. Okay, this is by Barilla. So we've got a few different versions here, so let's just grab them and stick them in one document. So this first version is fine. It's pretty safe. I don't have the vector file, unfortunately. If you did want to go with this version, I think this is cool, lined up and everything. The spacing here is way too tight though. So you gotta widen that up. That spacing, just push it top and bottom. So at a small size, it doesn't just look like the lines blend with the other letters. So that could work. That's pretty safe. In fact, sometimes that's all you need. You know, sometimes the execution can be quite simple. This version here is more creative, but then we come to the same thing that I was talking about earlier. You're customizing letters. So you've done a boxing glove, but you also mucked up the O typographically. Same here. I think this is probably a better idea than this one. But sometimes replacing one letter with an icon or a symbol, if it doesn't, it can just look a bit rubbish. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean it just sometimes just switching out one letter, dropping in a graphic, just doesn't look professional. So what I would do is try and integrate more typography into this to make the boxing glove more O-like. Or one idea is you kind of got a bit of a B shape here already. I'll probably lean into that and do something like this via B. Could bring that around there. We could have an accent there, so it looks more like a glove. And you could even have this become the B. So let's just play around with this a bit. Maybe accentuate that top part a bit more, so it's more B-like. So you see, we're trying to find that balance between icon and type. So we'll rotate that around. So we're kind of having that continuity here. Now this shape looks a bit weird and a bit strange. So could we do it with an ellipse? It might look too perfect. This is my sort of style. So it might look too perfect and too precise. Let's bring it down. Cut there. Scale towards that. Yeah, it looks a bit too precise. Less boxing glovey. I think it's this bit here. This is the problem. But that's fine. Maybe a little bit of customization so it's not all perfectly super geometric is fine. And then if you wanted to create that highlight running along the edge inside, what you could do is select your existing shape, do a path offset with a negative value. So you get that inside kind of line. Let's delete the outside. So there we go. We've got an inside one. You see the width is totally parallel there. And we just got to trim this down. So maybe we'll cut it like this. And it's just nice and consistent then. Yeah, so that is probably too clean and perfect. So it's kind of like a balance. Like a dance between getting something looking like a boxing glove and a letter. So what I would do is I would look up icons for boxing gloves and look at the raw form of a capital B and try to find a blend. It's very easy to muck up a font care. It's good to be aware of as well. The glove could be turned 90 degrees. What, and have it going... I mean, you could use it as an O there, or you could have it up as a B. There's lots of different ways you could do it. But this one here doesn't look enough boxing glove. So it's just refining to find that balance. And then playing around with stroke weight, so you could chunk it up, which can sometimes make things a bit easier. Or we could Let's try. So let's just see if we can make it more boxing glovey. That gap there makes it look more thumb-like, so maybe that's a step in the right direction. Maybe this bit here helps. Maybe stretching it out. You could even try doubling back a little bit to create like a little part for the bee there. Would it still look like a glove if we did this? Maybe. But yeah, I'm just playing around here. We could. Obviously, this would need a lot more refinement. I would even get out of Illustrator and sketch this, to be honest, on the iPad. I would sketch ideas. Could bring those in. That K-pop Demon What's It logo I showed you earlier, that was about 20 minutes in Illustrator, several hours sketching on the iPad. That's where the idea kind of really progressed. Okay, yeah, so you could do it as an O. There's loads you could do like that. I think you could go O or B. It could easily look a bit abstract as well, so just be mindful of that. Me at work involved in graphic design, watching a designer. Nice. Awesome. What are you working on at the moment, Diogo? I think as well, if you were to go this sort of boxing glove B route or replace a letter, it's tricky because you want to embody the characteristics of the other letters, or you want to go and do the letters from scratch. So if that was going to be my B boxing glove, for example, I would then go and do the other letters. So, but when you come to the sort of realm of doing letters manually, you've got to like have an understanding of what you're doing. Otherwise, it can very easily go wrong. So like widths of letters is quite important. So at the minute, this has got loads of things wrong with it. Kerning. Ooh, I wonder if we could rotate that. There we go. Z. Clearly too wide. Needs to be coming in. And get the rounded cap off. Yeah, so see, as soon as you take the rounded cap off, loads of problems. But once you've done your A correctly, you can just repeat letters. There's a lot of repeated letters here. Bonanza, yeah, double N, double A. So that's nice when you can repeat letters. But you see why I've done this? It's because I've done a custom B. Well, like Raquel said, this could be the O. So if I do that, I normally do draw the letters from scratch. just because I have control over the stroke weight and everything. I can thicken them up, I can make them thinner. It just makes it easier. Wallpapers and some outdoors for the PRT Navy. We are very limited here for creativity. Ah. PRT Navy. What's PRT? So some guides would probably help at this point. And some guides. And we could start snapping to said guides. N. Little trick here to flatten the tops. Scale tool. Can be very useful. Once you've got everything there, or like this, scale tool, you can move them up and down. It's a bit of a funny tool. Same for the A, we could probably use the same technique. There we go. Flatten the top. And then, of course, I want to bring that down. So sometimes it depends how you want to create letters. Sometimes you can go just all in creativity first, and then after add your guides in. Here, I kind of want that to have the same sort of angle. So I'm just going to add like a white stroke here. Just to kind of get an idea of how it could look. And then we'll do a white box along the bottom. Just to block off the A. N, we could just copy and paste that. Sorry, this is turning into like a custom lettering shindig. Z, the width of the Z is important as well. So I'm going to use the width of the N as a reference. I think that'll look all right. Although I need to make it taller. And then what have we got? Another A on the end. So we can literally just copy all of this. And then the kerning is the spacing between the letters. So because we're doing this from scratch, we've got to do it manually. And if you don't know what you're doing here, it can be somewhat problematic. So you just got to optically make sure all the letters look balanced. I think the Z as well. I'm going to do the same trick to square off the Z. Same as the A and the N. There we go. So now this N part here isn't pointy. I've now got to shift that closer or it will look too far away. And zooming out and staring at this for about 1,000 hours is a good way to kern correctly. And then, as I said, I've still got control of all the stroke weights and things, so I can then start thickening up or thinning down or whatever. Portuguese. Oh, okay. Military power in Portugal. I gotcha. You like the cool pointy N. Yeah, you could do that. I like even here, like these rounded parts. I've removed that from the letters, so it's keeping the style between the mark and the type consistent as well. Or maybe the detail, you might want to make that a slightly thinner weight to accentuate the B as more of a letter. So the main kind of letter form is in a thicker set of lines, so it's more B-like, and then the details of the boxing glove are thinner. This is going to help the actual form of the letter stand out more. Yeah. Does that make sense? So this obviously, like I said, this getting the execution and the balance between the B letter form and the boxing glove. Go back to sketching. Sketch, sketch, sketch. The size of this in relation to that. The curve of this. Does it look like a thumb piece on an actual glove? I've not. Oh yeah, there we go. Got my Muay Thai gloves here. So yeah, like this. I'll show it. Yeah. So the relationship between this bit and the thumb piece as well. You need to try and find that balance of it looking like a B and looking like a boxing glove, and that getting that balance right is, I think, easier to achieve through just sketching out ideas. Trying to do it all straight in Illustrator you can do it, but I would sketch to try and get the balance right. Once you then nail it in a sketch, then digitally create it. Oh. Kerry's back. I can't recall at the minute. Is there any info or basic pointers on typography lessons in the Illustrator courses? Yes. Illustrator, the Illustrator Masterclass, there is a whole module on typography. Is it that one? Hang on, let me have a look. There's one lesson that is the anatomy of typography. I'm pretty sure that's the masterclass. And that's got like a detailed diagram of the different parts of the letters. And that like sort of almost, it doesn't go too in depth, but it labels all the things that I normally call out. Let me have a look. Ooh, if I show you as well, it will act as like a subtle promo. Nice, well done, Dan. That was good. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so this is like a base font, Nicane normal, and we create that and draw all the letters by hand. So this similar, well, no, it's not really a similar technique to what we've just done because it's a totally different style, but we create all of the custom lettering from scratch. So you've got the same flexibility as what I've just done. There we go. Yeah. So module 1 is lots of different pen tool tricks and blah, blah, blah. Module 2, we go into type. There's like a lot more theory stuff in here. So anatomy of typography, how to then customize typography and not screw it up. That's the next one. Then once you've done that, you've got an understanding of type. Then we go into creating custom lettering. It's like a sort of, I want to say kind of like a Gothic style lettering. For a game, Diablo 4, and we do the custom lettering from scratch, kind of using the techniques we've just looked at, but it's much more stylized. It's like very angular and sharp, and it looks really cool. Sans serif lettering, like we just did, is quite straightforward. Once you've got the knowledge of typography, this is a bit more challenging. There's a few other bits there, but then we go back and do a little bit more with this lesson here, which is the Presto logo I just showed you. So yeah, these three in particular will be pretty good in understanding typography, customizing existing fonts, which is a good starting point, and then doing your own custom lettering from scratch. Yeah. But that's the masterclass, which is linked at the top of the chat. There we go, Dan. Complete the segue. Oh no, Kerry's on his way home. You're not stopping. You're not commenting between traffic lights, are you? Are you going to make sketching logo streams in the future? Do you know, that is a really good. That's funny you say that, because I was thinking of doing that. Yes, I was. Because I could do it on the tablet here, but I really like sketching on the iPad. I wonder if I could hook this up actually. Hang on, let me try something. Because yeah, I've been doing a lot of sketching on the iPad recently because I'm gonna pivot my services as a designer to logo design now. I really want to pursue logo design. I love it. So if anyone does want a logo, message me. I'm available. Um, what was I talking about? I've forgotten already. Via Bluetooth and sketch that way. Yeah, there's a few different ways you can sketch. But I love doing sketching because it gets me away from the computer. I'm fed up just sitting at a desk. I've done it for 20 years. I need to move around. I need to sit on the sofa and get comfy and just sketch. And I've really enjoyed doing that lately. And let me show you the. I'm in the process of gathering all of my logos that I've done in like forever. My favorite ones, anyway. So these are some of my favorite logo designs that I've done. Best at the top and less so at the bottom as I go down. But this one here, the KDX one, like this is the one I talked about earlier. K-pop, demon, hunters. That is the kind of sigil, the mark. This took about 20 minutes to create in Illustrator. Really, really easy. But the actual sketching, which maybe I can show you, that was hours on the sofa, and I flipping loved it. And I want to show you, I might be able to show you some of the sketches actually. Let me see if I can hook this up. Can I do this? Let's have a go. Video capture, what would it be? Video capture device? I'm in OBS. If anyone knows how to hook up an iPad in OBS, please shout. Device. What would it be? Would it be a monitor? Video capture device. Yeah, it's not listed. Window capture? Application. No, it's not that.
I tried to sing, couldn't hit the notes, the words kept.
Hey, Tommy. Do you have it plugged in? Yes, I do. I don't know if that's the right cable, though. That might just be a charging cable rather than like a video-powered cable. I've done a Hannah video recently. Yeah, I partnered with the team at Spline recently to do a video on Hannah. So I do have a video on Hannah on my channel. Worth checking out. It's like an introduction. Really, really cool. Ask ChatGPT. That's a good idea. Where is it? How hook up iPad to OBS live stream. Sod it, we'll do it live. See if we can get it working. Because I got these sketches that I want to show you. A lightning cable. Plug your iPad into your computer. Add a video capture source. Yeah, so maybe it's the cable that's wrong. Let me, if I unplug this, hang on, this might break everything. And let's plug this into the iPad, because this is what powers the pen display. Right. iPad video capture. So let's go iPad. Let's see if it pops up. Hey! Yep. Ha! Yes. Okay, so the cable I was using just was... That was a charging cable, not an actual doing cable. So what? Hang on. Hang on. Let's sort this mess out. What's going on? Right. iPad. So if I rotate it, that'll get weird. So let me lock the rotation. Get rid of all this crap. Oh, hang on. It's all gone a bit wonky now. The stream is on the wrong thing. Hang on. Illustrator, you are there. Where's the iPad gone? Can you see the iPad? Let's... Ah, there we go. God, look at that. Look at that. We did it live. All right, where's the pencil? Yeah. Okay, right. I'll just check. Can everyone see that? Have I actually done that correctly? Let's get rid of this. I didn't expect that to work so easily. iPad showing. Okay, right, good. We are rocking and rolling. Yeah, I mean, I would like to do some more streams sketching ideas because I think that is the technical tools and the stuff to create it is really, really important. And that will determine the end result, really. But the quality of the idea is equally important. And that happens more sketching. So, okay, you can't see my hands, but I can scribble when you can, yeah. So at the first, it was very much a case of trying to combine the K. If anyone hasn't seen K-pop Demon Hunters, I feel like such a fangirl when I say that. If you've not seen it, it's really funny. It's good. It's a good movie. Definitely not listening to the soundtrack right now. So the goal here with this was either going to do something cool with the K or something with the K, D, and the H. And they all have bladed weapons and they're demon hunters. So I was kind of thinking about trying to do like a stylized K with like pointy bits. Yeah, again, it's balancing typography with the style that I wanted to convey. So like here, a bladed K. Slightly more K, but still sharp. Again here, like another bladed K. This was a... What was this? This was a K. You got your H, and you got your D at the bottom there in the shape of a demon. Add some eyes in. Add some teeth in. Maybe that idea did have some potential, but I think then, yeah, I landed on this idea. K, D, H. So that's kind of where this idea came from. It was just freely sketching. And then it led down to, this was the kind of first, like, oh yeah, this could work. But I had to try and get the K to be the most prominent. So it was kind of designing it in a way where I was layering the letters up. K, then the D, then the H. This was a bit spiky. This was like a more bladed version. And then adding some kind of accent details. But ultimately I went with the more kind of simplified one. So something a little bit more like this. I mean, seeing as we've got the iPad hooked up, should we just have a... Might as well do a little bit of sketching just to finish off. So if I go and Make a new canvas. Yeah. Someone shout out a couple of letters. We'll try and sketch ideas for a monogram. 2 letters. We'll try and do something cool. If anyone's got a couple letters or whatever. I always like trying to link letters together in clever ways. DR. David's like, yeah, I'm going to get me a logo. David Roth, DR, let's go. Yeah, well, let's do a few. Let's have a play. Right, I've got to stand this thing up first. Have I connected this the wrong way around? Hang on. Okay, the iPad is upside down for me at the minute. So, oh no, what am I doing? Rotate? Yes, unlock that. Rotate it round. And then lock rotation. No, not alarm clock. Come on, Daniel Lemon, what are you doing? No, not the... Stop pressing the bloody stopwatch, you idiot. Where is it? Lock. There we go. Sorry, that's my fault. I'm being a technical lemon. Okay. Right, yeah, this is what I do. I literally just freely sketch ideas. So just have fun with it. So we'll just do D and the R. If you're not sure, I know some people have said recently they try and sketch ideas. Moosh, stop laughing at me. Moosh is just throwing letters out. Oh my god, we've got too many now. Moosh is like, I'm going to give him all the letters. Yeah, so if you're not sure, you're stuck for ideas, just sketch, just play, just have a play. There we go, we've got a D. We've got an R. These don't need to be pretty. You know, it's very easy to look at all the sketches that designers post on Instagram and think, oh, wow, their sketches are so good. I don't know. I don't feel like they all look like that. I think I feel like, maybe I'm wrong. I feel like there's I'm going to present these sketches to the world sketches. And then there's the real sketches that look like crap, but that actually do the job of demonstrating to me if an idea is worth pursuing and got some legs. If it ain't got legs, I ain't going to pursue it. They don't need to look good. They just need to look good enough for my brain to know if they're useful. Yeah, literally, exactly. Yeah, exactly, David. Napkin sketches. So D. I'm just making this up. Making this up as we go along. D and an R. Yeah, it could look kind of cool. D. If in doubt, just draw. There's no pressure. If it looks crap, no one cares. We've got D. We could do the R here and have them combine together. You know, and you're going to do stuff that's crap. That's crap. That doesn't work. I don't think. Maybe it does. We'll do another one here. We'll cut this one through. And maybe we'll double it up. Maybe we'll introduce a little angle out the back there. If this is helpful, by the way, we could do a lot more of these idea sketching ones. If anyone's kind of stuck for ideas or wants to see sort of my process. And we could interlink them, but we could have this bottom one come through. Cut this short here so it kind of looks like it's going around in that sort of direction. Symmetry can be useful sometimes. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing here, but D and an R. And then there's different shapes of D. There's this sort of D, big round D. I don't know what I was doing there. Or you've got like a more condensed style of D, and that could lead into a condensed Style of R. Looks like a little robot with some legs. Hey! Um, DR. Got to be careful though. It could look like a PR there, so you don't want to. You got to make sure that it doesn't look like other letters if you are going for that. So we could do something like this. We could connect it up. So it's kind of like a D and an R. And then we could go and chunk up the lettering just to see how it looks with a bit more thickness. And then I would sketch and just go and refine it. That could be kind of a cool D and an R. Again, just a little face. Hey!
What are we doing today?
Huh?
What are we doing today?
We've been reviewing logos, and now we've actually somehow managed to hook up the iPad. And we're sketching ideas, just doing a bit of sketching. Yeah. And Moosh is throwing the entire alphabet at me. I was like, oh, give me some letters. And she's like, there you go. Have that, Ginger. Exactly. Yeah, we need the bad ideas. It looks like a turret of Portal. Right, let's go and pick some other letters. Some FU. Moosh put FU brackets. Hee. Right. FU. Capitals, lowercase, nothing's off the table. That's not an F. That's more of a D. And look at fonts as well. I would type FU in different fonts to get an idea of different styles as well. There's loads of different ways you could do an F. In fact, you could even just practice that first. Just do F. You got F, like a sort of double-ended F. Very overly ornate F. Just draw loads of Fs. This is all just lowercase. We could do a square F. Yeah, I think we'll stay away from that one there because I'm like literally a few lines away from a swastika. So we're gonna try and avoid that. F. We could do something like that. We could do. That's probably more of an. It could be an S, but we could do something angular. You see, there's so many different ways to, and maybe this is a good exercise. So many interesting ways to do an F. Maybe not that, a bit too P-like. That's very, ta-da! Just give everything a face. If you mirror the first one, it looks like someone flipping the bird. Ooh. Oh, this one here. Oh, what? Put them together and mirror them. I mean, that would be a good idea. Flipping the bird. Like, is that one finger or is that two fingers? I can't remember. Because I mean, if we're going to go with that, we could try and design around that. I just need to know one finger or two. I feel like it's one, isn't it? Flipping the bird. So could you? could do that. I mean, and then could that be like a ring? A ring on the finger? Middle finger or solo middle finger and thumb. Oh, right, I gotcha. So this is what I would try and do, is I would try to do the middle finger. Thanks for this, Moosh. Just try and look at interesting ways to connect it. So here I'm in this example, I'm trying to do an F and a U as a middle finger. So it's, and doing this sort of stuff is so much easier to sketch these sorts of ideas. I did not have this on my bingo card for today. So we're doing an F and a U, and we're trying to make the middle where they meet look like the person's wearing a ring or something. I mean, it could work. Shadowhunters Mortal Instruments. Oh, what's that? Is that a movie or like a TV series or a game? Right, what other letters did we have? I think someone put SS. I mean, obviously it depends on what it's relevant. You could do SS as a heart. So a double S, kind of back to back. And it really does depend what it's for. Like, what did we have earlier? We had I as a tattoo gun. I can't remember what a tattoo gun looks like specifically, but going from memory, it was something pretty interesting with mechanical bits on the side. Or you could angle it like this. Angles can be quite interesting. Not entirely sure what that is, but just interesting way of presenting an I guess, or a Q or a P that's backwards. I got no idea. It's just fun. Courtesy words are my favourite. Your thumb is optional. Yeah, I do like trying to come up with clever ideas. What other letters? Well, you could do letter marks, which is just a single letter, which is it's a good exercise. So Q. Q's always a fun one. Could do that. Or we could do with a gap. It's kind of like a power symbol. If you've got a tech company or a computer hardware store that's called a Q store or whatever, that would be quite good. Power symbol Q. Or you could connect one side. Whoop. So just kind of have it in one continuous line, which could be kind of cool. And as well, I think, you don't have to double line it. Just sketch it really low fidelity. Not that was a mess. Just really single line. Just try putting the Q in certain places. The line, sorry. We could do a vertical one like this, different shape. We could do a different type of Q. All sorts of different shapes. What about one that is quite literally square? That's kind of cool. Or it could be a lowercase q. So we could do something like this. This is my sort of logo style, to be honest. It's like clean. I love monoline logos, which are logos where the line weights are all the same. Flipped bumpkin. What's your opinion on slow designers? Slow designers? Don't think I've ever been asked that before. Love the creative exploration. Awesome. The loud cat is Crumble. Come on then. Come on then. Is it cuddle time? Oh. I mean, I think that the faster you can design, the better. Generally, there's no downside to designing faster, as long as the quality. Come on, goose. I mean, if you're in like a high pressure job and you've got to turn around design work quickly, it can be somewhat difficult. But here you go. Here you go. You could do this queue in one continuous line. You could embellish the queue a little bit and make it go super swirly. I mean, there's loads of things you could do. Could have it kind of go back on itself. Like if you had a book company or something that you wanted a queue. We're almost kind of at a book symbol there. So you could have some words. You baby, aren't you? Put you on your head. Give it a little head massage with the stylus. A little stylus. There you go. Are you going to eat it? Don't try and eat the stylus. just sketching the cat. He's gonna eat the stylus. Are you gonna eat the stylus? Oh. Right, chunky boy. Chunky boy. Crumble. Big baby. We'll do a C for crumble. That was a terrible C. Whoops. I'm gonna give it some whiskers. There you go. Could we make a C look like a cat? What the hell, Dan? What was that? Oh dear. Oh Lord. I don't know what that was. I'm sorry. You don't like that. Do you not like it, Crumble? He doesn't like it. It depends on the logo. And it depends on your style. For me personally, my logo design style is very much, I like to come up with clever logos. I like them to have like multiple meanings or thing, like, you know, like the KDX one I showed you a minute ago, the K, the D, and sorry, not KDX, KDH. I like them to be clever and interlinked. So for me, I've found that sketching, whether it's a pen display or on the iPad, helps me quickly iterate ideas. Yeah, so whatever kind of method you prefer to sketch, whether it's with a mouse, trackpad, pen display, iPad, pencil, paper, whatever it is, whatever helps you iterate your ideas the fastest is probably the best way. You know, and for a long time, I did that straight in the software. You know, I don't mind just diving into Illustrator sometimes, because you've got shape tools that enable you to see, like, if I'm doing a circular logo, my circles, they're not great. Whereas for me to make a perfect circle in Illustrator and design in a higher fidelity in real time is easier. Especially, you know, as I'm able to use it quickly. But if I have no idea what I'm really doing design-wise yet, sometimes sketching can be a bit easier to kind of come up with creative ideas. And for me, it gets me away from the computer. Sketching on the iPad means I can sit on the sofa or sit somewhere else, which is just good for my physical health as well, to get out the chair. Oh, big stretch, big stretch. Yeah, it's very easy to spend too long sat down at a desk. Maybe for the next stream we literally do a full logo in the stream, and we'll start on the iPad. We'll sketch for probably, like, I don't know, 2/3 of the stream, and then the last third we'll jump into Illustrator, take the best sketch, and then I'll show you how I would digitally create that, so you kind of get that full process. Does that sound good? Does that sound good, you big squish? Come on. Big ginger blob, aren't you? You're just like me. Hmm? Hmm? Where are you going? Where are you going? You're on the side of Mount Dan. Are you climbing or are you going down? Hmm? Oh. Oh, the cat is like a ragdoll teddy. He's a. I think it's because I babied him for so long. Like the cat just is like a ragdoll. Like he can just go upside down. He just honestly he doesn't care about anything. He just as long as he's being given cuddles. He's like a toy. He is literally a toy, aren't you? I've never had a cat where you could just do this. He's just looking at me now like, what are you doing? Hmm? You are a big, big, lovely baby. Aren't you? To be honest, as long as he's getting cuddles, he really doesn't mind. You really don't care, do you? Should we pop you on your own chair? There you go. Hmm? Headbutt you. Oh, big yawn. He likes chairs because it gets him up to human height, so he can then meow for attention at a higher level. Yeah, I think most cats as well. Even my mum's cat. If I picked up her cat or any cat and tried to sort of cradle her like a baby, I think she'd just. Oh dear. Oh, right. I'm gonna go and rest my shoulder because I need some more painkillers now because it's starting to hurt. But yeah, this was fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it. What day is it? Thursday. Ooh. But yeah, thank you to everyone who submitted work. If you do want a chance for your work to be reviewed, then you can post it in the Discord in the design review submissions section. Oh, this is so cool. I'm so glad we got the iPad working. And then we'll do some more logo stuff next week. Friday Eve. We have a new kitten and my wrists look like I'm a danger to myself. Oh no. Yeah, the new kittens, they're especially scratchy, aren't they? Aww. Oh, they're so cute though. With their little high pitched kind of sound. That sounds like Crumble. The cat outside's meowing at you now. Oh my goodness, now Crumble's meowing. Oh my goodness, everyone's meowing. What's happening? Oh, what's going on? Meow. 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 You don't know what's happening, do you, Crumbs? Oh my god, he's attacking me. He's attacking the beard. We've just confused the cats. Let's all meow. Yeah. Meow. On that note, yeah, so if you do want to learn Illustrator, just going back to like the professional stuff for a second, if you do want to learn Illustrator or Photoshop with me, I've got my courses. They're still 50% off to the end of August, and that is the full bundle. So from beginner Illustrator person to using Illustrator professionally person, there is, yeah, 50% off, link at the top of the chat and in the stream description. And yeah, that'd be awesome. I'll be here to support you on that journey as you learn and progress and encounter all sorts of design related shenanigans. But otherwise, have an amazing weekend and I'll see you next week. Bye. Where's the end stream? Oh, we got the, we'll run the trailer. We'll run the trailer for it all. So yeah, see you later.